Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Why didn't I figure it out myself? Let's learn how to build a secret sand base.
Round 1.
I start my secret sand base right on top of the desert sand, but I do not want the entrance to look like a door in the ground. That would be too obvious. I place real cactus blocks on the sand and make a short little pillar first, because cacti fit the desert better than almost any other block. If something matches the biome, people stop looking at it. Then I go to the top part and place cactus chiseled bits on the sides and on the back. Those extra cactus parts make the shape look bigger and more natural, almost like one thick cactus plant instead of a neat player build. After that, I remove the real cactus blocks from the inside. Now the outside still looks like a cactus, but the middle is hollow and I can walk through it. That is a good trick for a secret base. Camouflage works best when the fake object looks normal from far away. Sand, cactus color, and the rough shape all help this hidden entrance blend into the desert. After I make the hidden cactus shell, I dig a small tunnel down and place ladders so I can climb safely. Ladders are better than jumping because the drop is vertical, and I do not want to hurt myself every time I go home. At the top entrance, I add a green door. Green matches the cactus color, so the doorway still feels part of the disguise instead of looking random. At the bottom, I dig out a small room for living space. I build the walls from cactus blocks, so the room keeps the same desert theme as the entrance. Using the same material inside and outside makes the base feel connected. For the floor, I choose oak planks. Oak is warm and flat, and that matters because cactus walls already look rough. A wooden floor gives a nicer walking surface and makes the room feel less empty. Something is missing. I place a bed, a crafting table, and a thorn plant in a pot. Now the room feels like a tiny hidden cactus home under the sand. Phew, it took so much effort. Great! My secret sand base is ready.
What? Hello?
Hey, Banana Kid, look! I built it! Do you like?
No.
What? Can you accidentally lose access to such a secret base yourself?
Oh.
I hadn't thought of that. Maybe then you'll try to build the best secret sand base yourself?
Yay!
They ran to the place. This is where your building will be. Are you ready?
Yahoo!
Then go ahead, then.
Round 2.
I am watching Banana Kid start his secret sand base, and he goes much bigger than I did right away. He digs a long tunnel straight down into the sand, and he makes it 3 blocks by 3 blocks instead of just one narrow hole. That is actually a smart size for a desert base. A wider shaft gives more room to move, more room to decorate, and more room to carry items up and down without getting stuck. It also makes the center feel important, almost like the main spine of the whole base. Digging straight down is risky if someone does it carelessly, but Banana keeps the walls even and the shape clean. In building, a straight shaft is useful because it is easy to line up later rooms with it. It works like a central coordinate line. I joke that he is making a giant sand elevator, but he just makes a funny sound and keeps digging deeper and deeper until the tunnel reaches a level where a full base can fit below. Once the shaft is deep enough, Banana puts glass panes in the middle from top to bottom, making a thin pole through the center. That looks cool, but it also does something useful. Glass panes are thin, so they do not block much space, and the clear material lets light and sight travel through the shaft. A dark desert hole can feel scary and messy, but a glass center line makes it feel more planned. Then he changes the side walls of the shaft into cactus blocks. I laugh a little because climbing down next to cactus sounds painful, but in this build, the cactus walls are for style, not for touching. Cactus is a brilliant desert camouflage block. It keeps the whole base connected to the biome above and makes the tunnel feel like it was carved through a giant cactus core. The green cactus walls also contrast with the yellow sand very well, so the tunnel gets a strong color pattern. Banana is already turning a simple hole into something special. Banana reaches the bottom and starts digging out a much larger open area. He does not just make one box room, he clears a broad central space and leaves room around it so more areas can connect later. That is a very good underground design idea. Big central hubs make navigation easier because players can always return to one main place and then choose a direction from there. If every room is random and disconnected, a secret base quickly becomes confusing in a bad way. He keeps the floor level fairly even, which matters a lot in a desert underground build. Sand themes look cleanest when the lines are flat and the rooms feel carved on purpose. I can see him planning ahead because he leaves equal amounts of room on multiple sides of the central area. That usually means branches or parallel rooms are coming next. I tell him this is already less like a bunker and more like an underground cactus hotel, and he seems very proud of that. Now Banana starts laying out the real room system. He builds parallel rooms so that the whole base forms a cross shape from above. One room line goes left and right, and another goes front and back, all meeting at the center. That cross plan is very smart because it makes movement simple. A player only has to remember 4 directions instead of wandering through random turns. He makes the floors from sandstone. Sandstone is perfect here because it comes from sand, so it feels natural in the desert, but it is stronger and smoother than loose sand. Floors need to look stable, and sandstone does that well. For the walls, he uses cactus blocks again. The green walls and pale sandstone floor make a strong desert color contrast. Contrast is important underground because it helps the eye understand where the floor ends and the wall begins. Banana is not saying anything, but his build choices make sense. It is a clean plan, easy to read, and very on theme. He keeps working until there are 4 small rooms, one on each side of the center, and every room leads back toward the middle. I like that a lot because the center becomes the meeting point of the whole base. In building, central layouts are helpful for both design and safety. If someone gets lost, they can return to the middle and reset their direction. If someone wants to decorate later, each side room can get a different job like sleeping, storage, crafting, or magic. Banana keeps the room sizes fairly similar, which makes the base feel balanced. A balanced plan is nice because the eye can tell that the builder was careful, not random. I tease him and say he finally made a cactus maze with training wheels because every path still goes back to the center. He gives me a friendly little noise. Even though I am joking, I think this is a very clever underground layout. It is simple enough for kids to understand and neat enough to look professional. Banana stops for a moment like he is thinking hard about the empty rooms. Then he starts decorating. First he places a bed, a nightstand, and a lamp. That is a smart first choice because sleeping and lighting are the 2 things that make an underground room feel safe. A lamp is especially important in a cactus base because dark corners can make green walls look dull and scary. Light brightens the color and makes the room easier to enjoy. After that, he adds different chests around the base. Storage matters a lot in a secret base because hidden places are usually used to protect important items. Using more than one chest is also helpful because it lets him sort tools, blocks, food, and treasure instead of mixing everything together. I tell him his base is starting to look pretty cozy for a giant hole under the sand. He just hums and runs from room to room, placing furniture like he already knows exactly where everything belongs. After the first furniture pieces, Banana keeps filling the base with useful stations. He places a crafting table and furnaces so the base can work like a real survival home, not just a place to sleep. Then he adds bookshelves and an enchanting table. That is a good choice for the center area because magic stations feel important, and the middle of a cross-shaped base is the most important point. Bookshelves also help break up the plain cactus walls with wood texture and give the underground rooms a warmer look. Next, he builds a circular staircase going upward out of stone slabs. That is one of my favorite parts. Stone slabs make a smooth spiral path because they are thinner than full blocks and easier to stack in tight turns. A circular staircase also uses space well around a vertical shaft. Straight stairs would take more room and look clumsy. I tell Banana this spiral staircase makes his base look fancy. And for once, I cannot even make fun of him much because it is really good. At the top of the shaft, Banana puts signs on the walls and then covers the opening with quicksand. This is a very sneaky trick. Signs can hold certain falling or flowing blocks in place, so the quicksand stays where he wants it instead of dropping all the way down. Quicksand is perfect for a secret desert entrance because it looks like part of the surface, but it hides the hole underneath.
Ta-da! Yay!
Where did everyone run off to? Hey guys, what's all that noise?
Banana Kid and I are building a secret sand base, JJ. Who did it better?
Oh, both of your buildings look great, but I think it's up to the audience to decide who did the best.
Yes, JJ, you're right. Maybe then you have comments on the construction of Banana Kid?
Yes, there are a couple of comments. It's easy to suffocate in quicksand, so I'd redo the entrance to your base.
I totally agree with you, JJ. Maybe you will build a secret sand base.
Okay, then let's run to the place as soon as possible.
JJ, good luck to you. We'll wait in the house.
But?
Thanks, guys. Then I'm starting. Round 3. I begin my secret sand base with a very different plan. Instead of hiding the entrance as a small object, I build a full desert temple on the sand using sandstone. I copy the normal Minecraft desert temple shape very closely because familiar shapes are excellent camouflage. When players see a structure they already know, they stop expecting surprises inside. Sandstone is the ideal material for this because it belongs naturally in the desert, reflects the warm color of the biome, and creates a strong, stable shell. I start with the footprint and the front wall, making sure the proportions match the classic temple outline. A correct footprint is important because every tower, corridor, and roofline will depend on it later. If the base shape is wrong, the whole illusion fails. I keep the front centered and symmetrical. Symmetry is one of the easiest ways to make a build feel official and ancient. Already, the temple looks like it belongs in the desert rather than being a strange base dropped onto the sand. After the footprint is set, I raise the front section and begin forming the two tower-like sides that make a desert temple so recognizable. These side structures are not just decorative. Tall side forms frame the entrance and create a strong silhouette that can be identified from far away. In architecture, silhouette matters because players often understand a build before they see the details. Sandstone works very well here because it stacks into large, smooth walls without looking too busy. I keep both sides at the same height and width. Matching measurements are critical on a temple build because ancient structures usually rely on order, rhythm, and repetition. A mismatch of one side can make the whole building look accidental instead of deliberate. I also leave the center front area lower than the towers, just like the real structure. That height difference helps the temple feel layered and gives the front face a calm but powerful shape in the open desert. With the towers rising, I continue around the outer walls and connect the side sections to the main body. I use sandstone blocks to keep the texture consistent, and where the shape needs a softer line, I bring in sandstone slabs and stairs. Slabs and stairs are very useful even on square temples because they break large surfaces into readable layers. Layering is important on big builds. If every wall is one flat rectangle, the structure feels dull and toy-like. By stepping some edges and roof lines, I make the temple look more like a real stone building with thickness. I pay close attention to the top edges because roof profiles are very visible in a desert where there are few tall things nearby. The more accurate the top line is, the more believable the temple becomes. At this point, the outer shell already copies the classic Minecraft desert temple very well. That is exactly what I want. The ordinary look is what will help hide the extraordinary base below it. Next, I refine the top sections and the meeting lines between the towers and the middle roof. The middle area of a desert temple should feel lower and broader than the side sections, so I make sure that relationship stays clear. Proportion is extremely important in recognizable builds. If the middle roof rises too high, the temple loses its identity. If the towers are too short, the front becomes weak. Sandstone is especially helpful for this stage because its warm color keeps the whole building visually calm, even when several layers of blocks are being added. I keep the edges crisp and the roofline clean so the desert wind and bright sky can frame the shape nicely. A clean horizon line often makes sandstone builds look more impressive. I walk around the structure from multiple angles to confirm that it reads correctly from the front, side, and from a distance. It now feels like a standard desert temple, which is perfect for a secret base that should not attract too much attention. I finish the exterior by checking every side and making small corrections until the form truly matches the ordinary desert temple style. This last pass is important because camouflage only works when the false story is complete. In this case, the story is simple. This should look like a normal desert temple that has always been here. I keep the sandstone pattern even and make sure the walls, roof, and front all align. A build that is meant to hide something should never look rushed. Strange bumps, uneven corners, or accidental openings tell observers that there is more to investigate. Once the shell is complete, the temple blends naturally into the desert environment. Its color matches the sand, its shape matches a known structure, and its size feels appropriate for the biome. From above or from far away, nobody would suspect a secret diamond base is hiding below. The outside layer of my plan is now complete and doing its job perfectly. Inside the temple, I decorate it the same way a normal desert temple would feel inside. That is important because the secret should not begin too early. If the inside looks too different, the camouflage breaks. I keep the interior open and neat, with a central area that feels familiar and symmetrical. Familiar design is useful in hidden builds because it lowers curiosity. People think they already understand the space, so they stop searching for unusual mechanics. I use the same sandstone theme inside, so the outer shell and inner hall feel like one real building. A clear central floor area is especially important because it draws attention naturally, and later I can place my special feature there with control. The walls stay simple and strong, which fits the desert temple mood. By preserving the standard interior language first, I create a better contrast for the hidden advanced base below. The temple remains believable, and that makes the secret layer more effective when it finally appears. To keep the floor perfectly even, I use commands and replace the whole interior floor area with sandstone. This saves time, but more importantly, it gives me exact flatness. A perfectly level floor matters a lot when the temple is supposed to look official and old. Uneven patches inside would look like damage or player edits, and that would make people suspicious. Commands are a smart tool for large, repeated surfaces because they reduce small human mistakes. On a big floor, even one missed block can break the pattern. Sandstone is still the best material here because it keeps the interior tied to the desert setting and avoids introducing strange colors too soon. I check the edges where the new floor meets the walls, so the transitions remain clean. Good hidden architecture relies on neat boundaries. If one layer of the story looks sloppy, the whole illusion becomes weaker. Now, the temple floor is calm, accurate, and ready for the center feature. In the middle of the temple, I create a special core from diamond blocks and place a beacon on top. This is the first strong sign that the build is more than a normal temple, but I place it in a controlled way so it feels like a mystical center rather than random treasure. Diamond blocks are bright, extremely durable, and very different from sandstone, so they immediately mark the most important point in the room. The beacon adds vertical light and gives the center a feeling of power. From a design view, this works because a temple often needs a focal point, and a focal point helps guide the eyes and the path of movement. The diamond platform also prepares the player for what is hidden below. It acts like a clue that something valuable lies under the ordinary shell. The contrast between dusty sandstone and glowing diamond is very strong, and that dramatic contrast makes the middle of the temple feel ancient, magical, and important. Once the temple above is complete, I create the descent. Instead of mining down slowly, I use TNT to blast a passage toward the hidden area below. TNT is very useful for vertical excavation because the explosion removes a large amount of material quickly and creates a dramatic shaft. Of course, uncontrolled explosions can look messy, so after the blast, I clean the route and shape it with purpose. At the bottom, I use a command to generate a spherical room made of diamond blocks. A sphere is an excellent room shape for a secret high-tech chamber. Unlike a square room, a sphere spreads attention evenly in all directions and feels rare and powerful. Diamond blocks are perfect here because they reflect light well and create a premium hidden core feeling. After the room appears, I manually finish the passage with more diamond blocks, so the connection between the temple shaft and the sphere looks intentional. This helps the route feel engineered, not accidental. Inside the spherical room, I design the center floor from light blue glass and leave a small pool of water underneath. This combination is both beautiful and practical. Light blue glass matches the cool color of diamond while still being different enough to create layers. Glass also lets the eye look downward, which makes the room feel deeper and larger than it really is. Under the glass, the water acts like a visual cushion. Water adds motion, color, and safety to the room. In Minecraft, water is often used to protect from falls, and even here, it creates a softer feeling under all the hard diamond surfaces. A sphere can sometimes feel too intense if every surface is the same bright block, so the glass and water break that up and give the center a calm core. This lower chamber now feels like a hidden energy room under the ancient temple above. The contrast between dry sandstone and glowing blue diamond makes the secret far more exciting. Now, it is time to furnish the hidden chamber. I begin with the basic living area and place a bed, a nightstand, and a lamp. These pieces are important because they immediately turn the underground chamber from a treasure vault into a real home. A bed gives the room purpose, a nightstand makes the sleeping zone feel organized, and a lamp is essential in a diamond room because reflective walls can look cold without warm points of light. Then I add bookshelves and an enchanting table. This pairing works very well in a secret base because it combines function and story. A hidden room under a temple should feel magical and intelligent, not empty. Bookshelves also add texture. Diamond walls are smooth and bright, so adding wood and books keeps the room from becoming visually flat. I place the enchanting area where it can stand out but not block movement. Good furniture layout always needs clear paths, especially in a rounded room where every angle matters. After the first living corner is ready, I continue with the practical side of the base. I place different chests for storage, then add a crafting table and furnaces. Any good secret base needs a full work area because a hidden room should support survival, building, and preparation without constant travel back outside. Chests are especially important in a desert secret base because the entrance is far from regular villages and resources. Organized storage saves time and keeps the room tidy. I also place anvils with leaves for decoration. That is a fun design choice because anvils are heavy and industrial, while leaves are soft and natural. Putting them together creates contrast and makes the room feel less mechanical. After that, I add a television and a sofa. Those pieces turn the chamber into more than a bunker. They make it comfortable. A good secret base should feel rewarding to enter, and comfort is a big part of that reward. I keep decorating and add wardrobes for clothes and shoes, then hang a painting on one wall. Vertical decoration matters in a spherical room because the curved walls can otherwise feel empty. A painting helps break the bright diamond surface and gives the eye a resting point. I also place armor stands with armor, which is both useful and visually strong. Armor stands turn a plain wall into a display area and suggest that this base is ready for danger. After that, I build diamond pillars and diamond stairs that help move down to the lower part more cleanly. Pillars are useful in a large round room because they create structure and rhythm. Even if the room is magically strong, supports make it feel more believable. Diamond stairs also fit the material palette and make vertical movement smoother than ladders. By this stage, the hidden chamber feels like a luxury survival base under a temple, with both decoration and function working together. Back up at temple floor level, I add the final security details. I place signs on the walls around the upper opening and pour lava above. Signs are very useful for controlling liquids in Minecraft. They can stop lava from flowing fully downward, so the lava stays where I want it and forms a dangerous protective layer rather than flooding the whole build. This is a good defense because it punishes careless intruders while still allowing a builder who knows the design to pass safely. Lava also matches the idea of an ancient trapped temple. It makes the entrance feel dramatic and dangerous. Finally, I place a door at the front entrance of the temple. A door is simple, but simple security matters. It clearly marks the way in. Blocks wandering mobs and gives me one more point of control. Great! My secret sand base is ready. It's time for me to show it to the guys.
What?
Wow, JJ, you've got a very secretive base. I would never have guessed that a room of diamonds could be hidden under the lava.
Thank you guys. I am very glad that you liked my building. Friends, be sure to write in the comments whose building you liked the most. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.